Hello, my name is Erin Polchinski from erinpolchinski.com, and today my video is titled How to Let Go of Your Fear and Get in Touch with the Power that Lies Within You. Now, as Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, the only thing you should fear is fear itself. Fear inhibits you from living a happier and more fulfilled life, and it also interferes with your success. When you're fearful about something, you can't think as clearly, your insides tighten, and you make mistakes. So that's why you should fear the fear. You're not making the mistakes because you're not capable. You're very capable. But it's the fear that can make you incapable and can mess things up. Now I'd like to read an excerpt from Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth. I have summarized this book on my blog, erinpolchinski.com. So I'm going to read from the top of 134. Although the body is very intelligent, it cannot tell the difference between an actual situation and a thought. It reacts to every thought as if it were a reality. To the body, a worrisome, fearful thought means, I am in danger, and it responds accordingly, even though you may be lying in a warm and comfortable bed at night. The heart beats faster, muscles contract, breathing becomes rapid. There is a buildup of energy, but since the danger is only a mental fiction, the energy has no outlet. Part of it is fed back to the mind and generates even more anxious thought. The rest of the energy turns toxic and interferes with the harmonious functioning of the body. My cat is currently chasing a fly, so she might jump through here. Okay. So, that's the danger of these thoughts that we have in our head that can arise that create this fear. So our body actually believes there's danger when there's no danger. And this is unhealthy. The body doesn't function as well. You can't think as clearly and you won't perform as well. So we need to fear the fear. Now, how do we let go of this fear? Well, something I've heard Eckhart say is fear is the absence of trust. So if you don't feel trust, if you don't trust the present moment, if you don't trust yourself that you will be successful, then you're going to have this fear. But you can't make yourself trust. He's also talked about this. But you naturally are trusting when you get in touch with your inner body, your inner self. Okay, you don't listen to these thoughts. You tell yourself, I'm not in any imminent danger at the moment. Now I'd like to do an exercise with you, and I hope you do this with me. I'd like for you to look at the areas of your life and choose one that needs the most improvement. You can either choose your romantic relationship, your health and fitness, your career and finances, your social life. So pick an area that needs a bit of work, okay? And then I want you to think, okay, what am I willing to do to improve this area? And the next question you need to ask yourself, and I want you to write these things down and pause this video. The next question is, what am I not willing to do to improve this area of my life? So it's good to look at your limitations. So I'd like you to pause this video and ask yourself, what am I willing to do? And write that down. And what am I not willing to do? Okay, hopefully you've done the exercise. Now when you look at what you're willing to do, some of you wrote down what you've already done. And as Albert Einstein has said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But for those of you who did write something that you haven't tried yet that you're willing to do, if you do this, you will notice some minor improvements in that area of your life. However, if you do what you're not willing to do to improve this area of your life, then you will see significant improvement. The reason why your subconscious mind thought of this thing that you're not willing to do is because it knows that is how you'll get significant improvement in this area. But the reason why you are not willing to do it is because you're fearful. It's because it's scary. Maybe you fear failure, or you even fear success. Some people fear their life changing dramatically, so they stop themselves from making an improvement in that area of their life. Or you might fear looking good. You might not look good if you do this, and your reputation could be at stake. Okay? But Whenever you want a big improvement in your life, you have to go outside your comfort zone. And that's where the fear arises. It's not comfortable, but as soon as you start, a lot of the times all you have to do is jump in and get started, and that fear will go away. You have to face the fear and allow yourself to feel it and be okay with the feeling. I did this landmark seminar, and they did a fear exercise. Well, they had us all close our eyes. In the first part, we had to imagine everyone else being really scared. We'd walk through a mall, say, and everyone was terrified of us. We could see all of their fears on the outside. And this helped everyone to see that we all have fear. It helps you relax a little bit when you know that other people are fearful as well. The next part of the exercise is you have to close your eyes and feel your fear, and they even started yelling at you, and you're all feeling scared, and it forces you to focus on that fear that inside of you. You had to imagine doing something that was very fearful for you. And I believe the purpose of this exercise and why a lot of people had breakthroughs was because they realized that their fear, feeling their feelings, isn't going to have any disastrous effect. It's really not as bad as you think it is. That's why a lot of people, though, they don't feel their feelings. They have a negative feeling, they push it away, or they use some sort of substance, maybe alcohol or drugs or food, to help push away their feelings. But if you give yourself a chance to feel the feelings, even though it's uncomfortable, you will realize that it's really not as bad as you think. And when you step outside your comfort zone, that is when you'll see the greatest improvements. And if you look back at your life and you see where you've made leaps and bounds, where you did things that improved your life a great deal, you will see that you faced some sort of fear, that you were scared to get started. Maybe it was your business that you started or the relationship you're in, and you were scared to do whatever you need to do to get started on that, but it was well worth it because you went outside your comfort zone. Okay? Now, fear doesn't only arise within you. A lot of times fear is created, the outside world gives you a reason to be fearful and creates this fear. Okay, and that can be detrimental to society and to the human race. Now, when you look at the 20th century, it has been estimated that over 170 million people were murdered in the 20th century. Murdered, killed. One person killed another person. Why would people kill other people? It seems insane, but it's done. And it's done because of fear. We're scared of each other. We're scared of authority. We're scared of someone taking our homes or affecting our lives where we can't afford food and protecting our family. It's all fear. So all this murder is all because of fear. Now, everyone is powerful. We all have this power within us. We have these energy centers. You can go on my blog and learn about the chakras. And the energy center that has to do with fear and power is the solar plexus chakra. You can call it the power chakra. Okay? And some people, they have an overactive power chakra where they are addicted to power. And these people are generally in positions of power. And it's because they love that power and they love money. Okay, and then sometimes when it's weaker, it's the people who are very insecure. You'll see people hunching a lot, walking around and hunching, or going like this, and they're covering up their power center. They're insecure. They're trying to protect their power. Okay, you shouldn't hunch. You should always have a good posture. Sit up straight. Open up that power chakra. Okay, it'll make you feel better. Feel less insecure. Get in touch with that power inside of you. Now, with these people that have all this power, they want to instill fear in society. That's why you've seen all this bloodshed, all this torture. Think about the witch trials and how awful that was. You know, a woman would go outside and pick some chamomile flowers and make some tea, and then it would get around town that she has healing powers, she's a witch, and she'd be tortured and murdered. And this sounds insane. These were people like us. They were us. These are our relatives. They did this kind of thing. Why? It was an illusion. Fear can create an illusion. And the people that have these overactive power chakras, they want to weaken people. They want people scared because then they won't think properly. Okay, they won't do anything. They'll allow this person in power to stay in power because they're too weak to become powerful themselves. So they used their microphones and talked about witchcraft and be scared, and they're going to put a curse on you, they're going to put a spell on you, and you're not going to be able to fall in love, or something bad is going to happen to you. So they instill fear. And that's why all this stuff happened. Okay, people believed it. Now there are some people that didn't go along with it and didn't believe it. But then they were scared. They were scared of authority. So what did they do about it? Now luckily this phased out. There are still some people who believe in sorcery, who believe that there are dangerous witches out there. But most of that is done with. But then what do we have next? Did those people with these overactive power chakras, were they content with not having anyone to dominate and not focusing on making other people weak so that they could be more powerful, instilling more fear? Well, what about all the people they brought over from Africa? They instilled fear in these people and said, the economy is really bad and you need these people to work for you. And if you don't make more money and get these people to work for you, your livelihood is at stake. You're not going to be able to have the same type of lifestyle. You're going to be poor. You're going to be like all those poor people you see. And people were scared and fearful. And they created this illusion and let them know that it was okay to treat these people like they weren't even people, like animals. By telling them stuff like brainwashing, oh, you're special, you're different, you're better than them because of your skin color. And they chose these people likely because they looked different, because their skin was a lot darker. They didn't go someplace where people had skin just a little bit darker. They wanted to go a lot darker so they'd look different, so they were able to create this illusion of you're different than them, you're special. It's okay to treat these people like this. These people love to dominate others. They love power. They love to get other people, to belittle other people and do their torture and murder for them. So this happened. It's insane. And we can see the insanity now, but a lot of people at the time didn't even see it because they had this illusion, this fear. They weren't connected to their inner self. They weren't connected to their consciousness and the truth. It clouded their judgment because they were fearful. And luckily now a lot of that is done with, but there are still racists. There are still people who have this fear. They've heard that, oh, people with darker skin are more likely to steal and all this other craziness. So there's still some out there, but luckily a lot of it is done with. Now, these people of power, these overactive power chakras, are they done? Do they say, okay, we can't dominate African Americans, we can't dominate women, we're done now? Of course not. They're never going to stop. They always want to instill fear to weaken society. Society will hand over their money and their services and will help them torture and murder. So what's the new focus now? Well, have you heard the word terrorist lately? You look at Hitler. And people weren't going along with him and weren't listening to him. So he needed to instill fear. How did he do that? He blew up his own parliament building. That instilled enough fear that he got enough help. He got people to say, yes, I'll help you. And then the war got started. Okay, so what did the states do? Oh, people aren't listening to us. People aren't scared enough of terrorists. So look back in history, well, what worked back then will work now. Yeah, so you really think this, it's crazy. They were able to create this illusion in the States that this man in a cave did all this elaborate scheme. And, the States is the most powerful country. And they're able to make people think that these men who live far away in a village are a threat. They do this through the media, that they make them believe there's this threat, war on terror and weapons of mass destruction. Think about that sentence. They created that sentence because it sounds fearful. They want to instill fear. And if people are scared, they're willing to pay more taxes, to go for another war, and who is making all this money? It's the banks. The banks charge interest, so the government has to borrow money from the banks. So who orchestrated this? Well, whoever's benefiting from it the most. Okay, the people who are addicted to power, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all these families that are very powerful. They want to stay powerful. They have these overactive power chakras. So over the years, they keep They keep finding a way to instill fear in people. So what do you do about this? You stop allowing them to make you fearful. Don't allow them to instill the fear in you. Understand that you are a powerful being, that you are consciousness, they are consciousness. Every person is powerful. Every person has the same energy running through them. The intelligence that has created the world. You are powerful and they are no more or less powerful than you are. And as soon as you get in touch with that inner self, take some deep breaths and focus on your inner body, you can feel that vibration of your body and that fear will go away. You will realize that you are not currently in any danger. Okay? There's no neighbor putting a spell on you. There's no African American trying to break into your house. Okay? There's no plane above you trying to bomb your house. You are okay. You're safe. You're watching this now. You're on the internet. So you have a house to live in, food to eat, a bed to sleep in, which is more than most people have. So appreciate the present moment. Appreciate how safe you are right now, that you're not in any danger. Now I'd like to read another excerpt from Eckhart Tolle's book. This one is on page 266, starting at the bottom. The present moment is always small in the sense that it is always simple. But concealed within it lies the greatest power. Only when you align yourself with the present moment do you have access to that power. Anxiety, stress, and negativity cut you off from this power. The illusion that you are separate from the power that runs the universe returns. You feel yourself to be alone again, struggling against something or trying to achieve this or that. But why did anxiety, stress, or negativity arise? Because you turned away from the present moment. And why did you do that? You thought something else was more important. You forgot your main purpose. So, anyone will tell you, I've seen Justin Timberlake, not that I love his music, but I saw him in an interview and he said that this one song that became a big hit, he did, and he just did it with barely even, he thought, he just did it without thinking. It just came out of him. And that was because he was just so in touch with the present moment. He got the intelligence running through him. He was able to produce this piece of music that so many people connected with. Whenever you get into the present moment, you can allow that power within you to create or something in your life or perform at your job. You'll do way better and you'll have more success in life. But you just have to get present and allow that fear to dissolve. So I'd like to tell you about my children's books. I have written a couple of books. First book is Why Oh Why Does the Rain Fall from the Sky? I illustrated this one myself. It's about thinking for yourself. My second book is Ethan is Caught Blue-Faced. It's about lying and how your lies will always be exposed in some way. There's always the truth out there for everyone to see. It's illustrated by Anna Warren. And the links to my books are below this video. And yeah, that's all I have to say about fear. I hope this helped you. I would also recommend you reading Eckhart Tolle's books, The Power of Now as well as A New Earth. They will definitely help you with your fear because he can help you get into the present moment. As long as you're feeling trusting and you trust the moment, you surrender to the now, you will not have that fear. Okay, I really hope this helped. If you liked this video, please like it, comment, and share. And thanks for watching.